Welcome to the third installment of my latest Moby Dick instructional series. Remember, what we're talking about is the really cool part Bonham does in like the 70, 71 period onward. Okay, remember like 69 Royal Albert Hall or 70 Royal Albert Hall? Bonham's Moby Dick, that part's different a little bit, and it's actually like the evolution of kind of where he went a little bit later, what I'm talking about here. And he wouldn't play it very, well actually in the Earl's Court, he plays this thing, well, yeah, this thing long in the, in like the 77 footage too, he relies on this longer. Then you do see it in the Madison Square Garden 1973 from the movie film soundtrack. And I think Jimmy Page edited it shorter though. Remember, that's heavily edited for content and time. So, here's the deal. So remember the first three videos I did, okay? So I'm gonna put cards up. Here's the first video I did. Now on your mobile device, you might not see this little box that's supposed to appear here. And then here's the second video of the series. Now these will also be in the description below. So if you're on your mobile device, just look down so you'll see the first one I did and the second one I did, okay? So the reason why I'm remaking these is it's clearer. I have high def picture. Well, it should be high def and much better sound, okay? Plus this is, what I'm trying to do is tame my ADD and really get this in a fashion where I'm not putting all the chunks in one 30-minute video. What I'm doing, I'm spacing it out, okay? So, check this out. So I did the first two videos, check that out, that involved the Bonham engine. Remember, here's the Bonham engine. I have a couple Bonham engine videos. You want to check those out. But by and large, the big thing here is this is all based sort of on the Bonham engine, which involves all four limbs happening at the same time, single strokes back and forth, okay? So where we are now, what we did last time. Now watch your volume toggles here, okay? I do not have a compressor or limiter. I guess a compressor, well, what really is the difference? Is a compressor a type of limiter, or is a limiter a type of compressor? All right, so here we go. Gosh, darn it. Damn ye. Okay, so check this out. I left it off as when we were doing the engine, we broke it down into like a chunk of like 4 or of 8. So we'll have 8 when we're doing the, remember, da 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 ba ba da 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 ba da. Let me move this a little here so it's out of the way and you can really hear me. Yeah, boom boom bang bang boom 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 bang bang. Where Bonham's like, and the camera's behind him, and you wish it was like a high. You wish it was one of those slow motion cameras that are really common now, where at that time you could really see exactly what he was doing. But in the days of like that film, it's only 24 frames per second, so you really couldn't isolate it. But thank God the Earl's Court stuff from 75 is video, and you can slow it down more accurately. And somebody did. Look up the Led Zeppelin John Bonham Moby Dick 50%. If you type in Moby Dick 50 on the percent sign, you'll see this video where somebody slowed it down, and you can see what Bonham's doing this. So I was able to confirm this by watching that video. I always suspected this is exactly what he's doing, but I was never 100% sure. For a reason which I will explain later, probably not in this video, but in the next video. Okay, so remember what we left it off as. Let me deaden the snare a little. Remember the Bonham engine. That's an original ching ring. Remember, the originals are nickel-plated and at a lower pitch than the reissues, which are fine and dandy. Okay? So, we moved it on then to accenting like 16th note, like dotted 16th or you could choose a triplet. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So that is the paradigm which I took, which in the second video I really taught everybody, which is in that group of which are like quarter notes, but we're doing eighth notes on the half. So that means there'll be 8 of these in every one of these chunks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Remember? Oh, I forgot the last one. So it's Bo Diddley-ish. It takes up the same time of that. Except it's not that accent. The latter part of it is different, okay? So what we're going to do now is I introduced the concept of the 3, 4, boom, boom, ba, chicka waka chicka, boom, boom, ba, bam, bam, ba, 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 boom. Remember, I talked about sort of a scat thing that I think, scat might not be accurate, but what I think Bonham's sort of singing to himself or playing to. Like boom, boom, ba, shim, bam, ba, 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 boom, boom, ba, shim, ba, 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 boom, boom, ba. Kind of like that part in, if we want to keep it in a Zeppelin perspective, and We're Gonna Groove. Kind of like that. I think that's kind of, you almost could hear horns on We're Gonna Groove. Like in We're Gonna Groove in that part, it'd be like, okay? So, this is helpful. Trust me. Just watch this. Watch these videos, 1 through 5 or 6 or whatever I do. You'll see, oh, and you'll get it fast because it's a lot simpler than you think it is. It just has to be played a certain way. All right. So where we are now. Video 3, boom, boom, ba, bum, ba, da, 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 boom, boom, ba, bum, ba, da, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. And 8 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what we're going to do, remember, 1, 2, 3. That all occurs, what I just did, in the space of 8 of these, okay? The eighth notes. So now what we're going to do is the first ones of this, those are going to be bass drum notes. And then the third one of those, what would be like the da, 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 is snare. So we have. That's very important. You can practice that, or that's how you can just keep it in your mind. Remember, a lot of people are going to ask about, like, they want the tabs for this written out. Believe it or not, if you don't really have the ability, and I don't mean for this to sound patronizing, to sort of get it this way, work on it this way, because when you drum, you really should think of things more musically and internally this way. We're going to add another bass drum in a minute, too. But so check this out. So what happens is it's. Remember, that's going 8 times there. Okay, you understand? Except you don't have to, Bonham doesn't necessarily accent the first 2 while the bass drum's going. It's not necessarily. If you watch him, it's kind of like he's just sort of playing the regular Bonham engine without necessarily those accented on the bass drum. So it's like, like this. Hang on, erase that last section because we're going to add that bass drum note in a minute, but I'm just used to doing that way because I've been playing it live. So, here we come into it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Boom, boom, ba! Boom, boom, ba! Okay? So that's what we're going to do. But now what happens is, Bonham does a few things. What happens after the snare part, he'll play that stuff a little bit different of a way afterward, just with accents, that sometimes will add some time to the figure. So it won't necessarily be like, it'll be like, see how there's a little extra time on it? It's like a longer nugget, which often comes out to be like, it's like sometimes an extra whole quarter note, but other times it's kind of like another sort of one of the eighths. Do you know what I mean? And if we, okay, so what I'm gonna keep this nice and concise. There's a little tangent I can go off, which really isn't a tangent, but it's an important thing, but I will get to it in a minute here. So what I want everyone to practice, we're going to put 2 things in this, just so I have 19 videos on this. So what I do is this. So here we go. You're doing the 8th notes, right? Bottom engine style. Now what happens when we add these bass drum notes, the first one occurs at the same time. So it's a little bit different than the bottom. The engine itself is going. Remember, the first one, same. But then the second one, before this, is alternating like the engine. See that? Same, opposite. Witchity watchity. So the first one's like this. The second one is, okay? Okay, so the first one occurs at the same time as the hat, does the snare drum note after. Oops, sorry. Okay? Now what we're going to do, so what you want to do then is just sit and practice this. Okay, it's as if, like in school, you do multiplication tables. For like 3 weeks, you do multiplication tables. 7 times 4, 8 times 5. After a while, you're just like, God, I hate this. These are so easy. Well, after a while, you're getting it. So you want to get this down. Okay, because remember in bottom engineville, your right hand is always going at the same time as that hat. Remember, that's the cross, my right arm to my left leg, the X, okay? Watch my number 1, my bottom engine video and the first 2 videos I did for this. So this is the first, God, I wonder if I should just keep it like this for now. In fact, I will. There'll just be more of these videos. I hate to because it'll be easier for everybody, okay? Instead of like, okay? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But, so that's, remember, the 8th note. So here's the engine. I take the right hand out, or the left hand out. My right hand's hitting at the same time as my left foot, but the right foot is alternating. See that? Just work on that. If you have a problem with it, just do it slow. You'll get it. You know why I know this will be easier as opposed to even to the triplet, while people have a harder time leading with the left hand? With the bottom engine, I've said this before, this is the key of it. When we're walking, right, or running, when your right hand is out, walking, like the Bigfoot, your right hand is out at the same time your left foot is out, okay? When your left foot is out walking and running, your right leg is out. So this is something we're used to doing. That in and of itself is worthy of me getting some kind of an award from a university. So again, remember, what we're going to practice is, remember, chunk of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can think of it like the Bo Diddley. If you want to think if you have a hard time, just think of the time it would be. Junk, 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 junk. See that one? Or probably if you want to think of it 8th notes, because remember with 8th notes, we're just adding, these are quarters, so these would be 8ths, right? 8, okay? Except, think of it this way. We used to, again, I was in a band called Occasional Stray back in the 90s, which is the same thing as the Bo Diddley, but it might be easier to remember. It's more minory. Any one of those little songs you can do while you're practicing, it makes it easier and more, it's not as boring or saccharine, okay? So here we go. 2, 3, 4, well, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bring in the hands. Here we go, bring in the foot. Okay, remember that first one is hitting on the 1, bass drum, right arm and foot hitting at the same time. The second bass drum is an alternating, okay? Okay? So think of it this way. So junk, Boom, boom, ba. 4. Boom, boom, ba. 3, 4. Boom, boom, ba. 3, 4. And again, this is what you're going to be doing. I'll slow it down. Okay, now right now, don't panic. If somebody's in Bonneville, they're like, wait a minute, we're not done yet. Remember, we're building this structure up. We still have to add a bass drum note and later on another one, but and more accents. But right now, this is just that paradigm to the third level. Thank you for watching. More videos on the way. Don't forget, check out Bonzology. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers there. Check out Virtual Zeppelin. That's one word, Virtual Zeppelin. It's a YouTube channel George is involved with. If you want to send George any emails, gtbonzology@gmail.com. I am bonzoleum@gmail.com. I still have some shirts left. All my black are only 2XL, 3XL, and I have one 4XL left. And I have a bunch of larges in the white. Okay, not really any XLs, I don't think, in the white. But anyway, thank you for watching. Comment. This is a great series. You'll get this. It'll be really interesting to see in the next video, the one after that. Thank you for watching.